What really works to increase your metabolism? We've seen all those bottles of nitro super boosting rocket fuel guaranteed to take your metabolism into the stratosphere, or the modest claims of green tea or chili peppers is all you really need. So what is it? What works? What kind of works? And what doesn't? We'll answer all of that. All right, let's get into it. So what exactly is metabolism from a fitness standpoint? At its core, it's how many calories your body burns measured in a day. And that's important as many things can influence your metabolism temporarily. But we've seen those guys eating stacks of pancakes, a huge sandwich for lunch, then throwing back half a pizza and never gaining weight. Well, they probably have a higher metabolism burning those extra calories. Where that unfortunate person with a lower metabolism is always putting on weight even though they just eat a salad. Research supports this and shows metabolic rates vary from individual to individual. One study showed that individuals with the same body weight have metabolic rates that differed as much as 4,300 calories per day. That is an enormous amount of fluctuation. It's a metabolic rate that equals 2 times the FDA recommended daily 2,000 calories. And that's just measuring the difference. Incredible. Metabolism is more pressing on the lower end. So can the slower metabolism person speed things up so they're not starving themselves just to lose a little bit of weight? And this goes beyond just eating your favorite food, as you need the necessary energy to crush your workouts and live fully. So let's first look at the areas that, perhaps somewhat surprisingly, have little to no daily effect on your metabolism. Some where the jury is still out, and we'll conclude with a category of things that have been proven by studies to increase your metabolism. Okay, first on the chopping block is supplements. When you walk into the vitamin section of a store or the sports protein section, undoubtedly you will see the bottles of metabolism boosters. The marketing promises a quick fix. Usually your instincts kick in with skepticism, and in this case, you'd be right. Most supplements have no scientific backing for increasing metabolism. Some come in the form of caffeine pills, and while caffeine has benefits for muscle building, its effect on metabolic rate and fat oxidation is temporary and modest at best. Same with L-carnitine and 5-hydroxytryptophan, or 5-HTP. Both sound fancy and complex, but research indicates these supplements are more efficient at body functions unrelated to the direct increase in one's metabolism. But to be fair, there is evidence of supplementation that can temporarily increase your metabolism. But the practicality and safety of these supplements is questioned in these same studies, particularly as it pertains to dosage. As always, do your research and use caution when using supplements. Second on the failing list is cold showers and sauna. For cold therapy, the initial shock factor is what will cause a spike in your heart rate. Once you become accustomed to the cold, you tend to slow your breathing and relax. You do increase your metabolism as your body heats back up after the exposure, but studies show the actual increase in metabolic rate is somewhat small overall that is measured over the course of the day. Same with the sauna. The heart rate increases as the exposure to the heat increases. The body begins the sweating process to cool down, and the overall effect on metabolism is temporary here as well. Now, to be clear here too, cold therapy and saunas are actually very good for you and have a ton of benefits for overall health. But when it comes to directly increasing your long-term metabolism, they're low on the list. As is eating frequent meals. There are many who think that metabolism is influenced by eating often, like stoking a fire by putting on more wood. Wrong. Studies show that the frequency of eating does not have any significant metabolic impact. The total daily energy expenditure remains the same regardless. Those on the keto or carnivore diet are well aware of this as they often only eat once a day and their energy levels are very stable. Okay, so what about the category where the jury is still out? First on the list would be cold water. Here, much depends on the amount of cold water you're drinking throughout the day. You burn about 8 calories for each glass of cold water that you drink. If you spread your glasses out over the day, you can see a consistent burn relative to not drinking cold water or doing it sporadically. Your body has to heat up that cold water to body temperature, but the overall metabolic effect when looking at total calories burned in a day is quite small. So yes, there is an increase in metabolism over the day, but it's not very significant. Second on the maybe list is spicy foods. But wait, those spicy buffalo wings always make your face burn and your forehead drip with sweat, for sure. But your body heat is not moving your full metabolism significantly over a long period. But like cold water, if you're eating it frequently over the day, it may have an impact that lasts a little bit longer. And what it also does is it makes you slow down in your eating and make you more satiated. Therefore, you tend to eat less food overall and may have a direct effect on weight loss if that is your overall goal. Now let's move on to what is proven to work. We're only going to discuss the top 3, and we will end with the granddaddy of them all. Okay, first is HIIT. Cardio in general is known to increase metabolism. First is the simple usage of calories from the exercise itself, but this is offset by the increase in the rest that typically follows a cardio session. But you net out with a burn of calories measured in the day. But with HIIT, you get a few more direct benefits to your metabolism. First is the post-exercise afterburn effect, or EPOC. Effectively, you consume more oxygen post-workout, which in turn requires more calorie burn, thus turning up your metabolism. While this doesn't last all day, it does last a significant amount of time with HIIT, several hours. Second is that HIIT enhances aerobic and anaerobic capacity to allow for better energy usage. The heart is better able to pump blood and deliver oxygen to your muscles and therefore enhances your overall metabolic rate. And last, HIIT is great for balanced hormones, emphasizing adrenaline and growth hormone, both of which play a key role in increasing metabolism. Okay, second is eating more protein. Protein is thermic, meaning up to 30% of its calories are spent simply digesting it. Compare that to 10% for carbs and about 3% for fats. Your body must spend energy to consume protein, and therefore your metabolism is naturally increased. If protein is a significant part of every meal, you will have sustained daily metabolic rates, particularly if you are eating keto. Now, protein also stabilizes blood sugars and prevents the slowing of your metabolism. We know that eating sugar and processed carbs spikes your blood glucose levels and therefore spikes your insulin. After that spike, your insulin crashes and you're much more susceptible to storing fat, which in turn is the leading cause of slowing your metabolism. And now finally, protein consumption leads to the maintenance and growth of muscle, which is our last point in this category, building muscle. This is the granddaddy of increasing metabolism. Muscle is the tried and true method that has been studied and verified time and again. We know, for instance, that muscle will burn about 3 times as much as fat. So a pound of fat will burn 2 calories per day, where a pound of muscle will burn 6. Add that up over your entire weight, and the numbers become the most substantial of all that we have discussed. We know about the caloric demand to build muscle through heavy lifting, but the repair and recovery of muscle also requires energy that directly affects your metabolic rate. When you lift to failure, one of the side benefits is increasing your resting metabolism. And with muscle growth, we add in many of the factors that we've already discussed here. The afterburn EPOC effect is greatest with muscle growth. Hormone benefits are greatest with muscle growth. Fat loss and body composition is best with muscle growth. In other words, of all the things that we have mentioned, never skip lifting. Check out this video for more male fitness mastery, and we will see you in the next one.